that air of arrogance.
You know what's interesting? You saying that it reminds me a little bit of me and my lady, and I would say it's a similar kind of a principle. You know, wow, what's going on down there? But yeah, let's avoid it. To me, it seems like a similar sort of principle with my lady. Like there's certain times where I don't know why it's like I just need to be cocky, and just to keep her on her toes. You know, just to kind of keep things interesting. Like I could just be vanilla or say whatever, but there's a kind of devilish side of me which is like, you know, what happens if I push this button? And like that's the stuff that will have her calling me an arsehole because it sounds so cocky or whatever. But devilish. She enjoys it as well, man. It's like,
remember we had us talk about masculinity and femininity a long time ago. Same thing.
Absolutely, yeah, same thing.
You keep her interested. So it's not boring anymore. If she's always pushing and starting troubles, she'll find you boring because you now become monotonous. You become predictable. You being unpredictable makes you sexier, makes you more attractive.
Facts.
Because you're a challenge. You're a whodunit. You're a thriller. You're a what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know, next episode, no idea what's happening. But when she knows that every day is the same malarkey, you become boring. No matter how nice or great you are as a person, you become boring.
I see this with women I work with. Hospitality, I would say, majority of people young. And so there's a kind of emotional immaturity there, and I find with a lot of the girls that will come and they have an energy which is almost like, if you're respectful and if you're respectful and they think that they can take you for like a fool, they'll just have you doing all kinds of stuff. They won't treat you with no kind of respect. You know what I mean? I was on a shift the other day where the woman was very masculine, but when she showed up, it was like I could see the mask. I could see that okay, there's something going on here. Like something about it just seemed a bit too much. It was very like manly, and it was her bar that she normally manages. So you know, she was telling me how things work. We started working, and at a certain point in the night, she was just being annoying, but it was unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? And at first, I was kind of like gauging it, and then at a certain point, I just withdrew. Like I disconnected, and I was doing what I was doing, but I wasn't communicating with her, and I even distanced myself a little bit. But I just changed my energies anyway I could put it, and then the whole dynamic flipped. She started coming over. She realized she'd been, do you know what I mean, disagreeable, and she started coming over and trying to be helpful and offering me stuff, and the whole dynamic flipped completely. And then by the end, at one point I was doing something, and I think she reached across me and sprayed the stuff, and like I snatched the thing out of her hand, and she was like, and like the whole way she reacted, I said, "That's what you like, innit? That's how you need to be treated." And she couldn't look at me. She was just like, oh. Tell me about it.
Alright, so we're in the UK. Because it's nice, isn't it? We're in the UK. In the UK, in the United Kingdom. Oh, look, go shop available. In the UK, boys, men have been socialized to worship women.
Yeah.
Women have been socialized to challenge men. Think about it. It started from years ago.
It started from the
80s. So a lot of girls have challenged boys for so many years and got away with it that they've now become women, and it's now normalized. So they meet you for the first time in their life and assume they know everything about you, because this is how boys have worked in their favor all their life. Therefore, it's going to work for you normally, because it's the nature of that to compare. But then we've been programmed or socialized to go, oh no, women are never wrong. Women are angels. Whatever happens in this world is all a man's fault. Even when it's her fault, it's still your fault because you're breathing. Boom. Simple as that. So we're trained, we're programmed, we're socialized to worship women. Women are socialized to challenge and slap men down. That's just what it is. So then the moment you are not worshiping them, everyone else goes, oh, how dare you not worship them? What's wrong with you? You're misogynist.
Throws people off. Yeah. All them labels don't work on me neither, man.
So that's where we are in the world today. That's why. Now, me, argumentative. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Disagreeable.
Same thing. You wrote that good. Good that wrote. Same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I'm just making sure the audience know what we're talking about.
Right. So,
As I said, we're gonna come back to disagreeable. Let's do it. I want to have this conversation.
here's what's interesting. I use this every time with my students, and I go, do realize it's human nature to be us to be combative. As in, we are by nature combative human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And someone goes, no, it's not. No, we're not. I say, bam, you see?
That's combative.
That's combative right there. It's like, what? Exactly. Here's how.
I bet someone always takes the bait. So if you've got a room
Always.
full of people, at least one person will take the bait, right?
Exactly. Because it's our nature. Combat is our nature. Fighting is our nature. So whatever we do in life, we're going to fight. Look at that example.
Yeah, he looked out his window for a second and
Exactly.
then thought better of it.
So whatever we
and
do
puts it back
in life,
the
we're
car.
going to fight. Now, combat could either be verbal, could be physical, could be spiritual. Whichever path we take in life, there's going to be some level of combativeness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice, people who don't get to spar, box, do any kind of fitness or anything regularly
Go on.
are always willing to argue, because somehow, some way, we need to have our combat fix. A lot of people on the internet are going to argue because somehow, some way,
they haven't had a positive expression of that energy.
That's the thing. So by nature, we are combative, which is our negative bias. If everyone is getting along all the time, everyone will lose interest. So when the camera comes on, if you say blue, I'll say red, because that's what they want to see. Because the fact of the matter is, we are always saying the same thing, but then I pretend to go, oh no, it must be red. It keeps them interested. It's the magic of it, because it's our nature to be combative. As simple as that.
So what are you saying? You're combative for ratings?
Yes. Are you not?
Interesting. Are you not?
Are you not? Huh?
It's interesting because I have seen some shows where you can see they're just arguing for arguing's sake.
I know. So no, that one, I can't do that. I can't do that, mate. I can't do that. You're arguing for argument's sake. When I say, oh, the sky is blue. No, it's red.
I feel like my life is so much easier now that I don't get pulled into any kind of nonsense like that. I read people's energy so quickly now. Sometimes people don't have to open their mouth. I just look at them, look at their body language, their posture, look at how they're moving, talking, and all the rest of it, and get a bit of a picture already. Do you know what I mean?
I want to see a picture.
And as soon as I get certain energy from my person, I'm just like, yeah. You enjoy that over there. I'll be over here.
Alright. But no, it's actually our nature to be combative. If you think about it, right, if you go, like when you go and train, you do anything physically exhaustive, you sleep well. You've done your daily combat.
It's very true. Actually,
you've given your daily combat. Your good is gold. You're calm.
Your body feels ready to
Whenever
sleep.
anyone throws anything at you, you're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not going to argue with you because you're fine.
And you've got that out.
You've got that out.
You don't have that anger.
You've
and
got
aggression.
that funk out of you. But when you don't do something physical at any time or all times, you are always going to have that thing about
that
you.
pent up.
That road rage, that aggression, that shouting, that because you've not hit the bags. because you've not done your pull-ups, your burpees, your sit-ups. You've not pushed and pulled something. You've not physically exert yourself in a combat mode.
This is an excellent point actually on the subject of confidence, because I know a lot of my confidence comes from how I feel physically. You know, the training gives you a certain self-discipline.
Yep.
There's a self-esteem element to it as well, because you're looking after yourself and you're challenging yourself on a certain level as well, which makes you respect yourself more. And there's a confidence that comes with being in a certain physical shape, man. It's very powerful.
There is. You
just carry yourself.
You are one with yourself.
Exactly, yeah, and you start to know yourself. Like, I'm sure you can relate to the idea of feeling if you're going to be sick, or feeling if you're on the verge of sickness. Like, let's say your body's run down. Like, I never had this, you know, when I was younger, but I got to a point where I could just feel like, okay, I'm going to get cold if I don't, you know, have some ginger and lemon and so on. Like, now, like, I need that now. I need to, like, if I work out tonight, I'm gonna have a cold tomorrow. Like, I could literally get to the point where I could just predict and read and feel, you know, my body like on that level. Or like, I need to fast. You ever have that where it's like, okay, I need a day or two where I just kind of pull back?
No, it's true. You're totally right. That's all right, governor. Just don't know, governor.
I have noticed that you never get angry on the roads, actually.
Me?
Yeah, I've never seen you like.
Right.
And it's interesting because, like, with that guy, I swear he looked out and was almost like waiting for some energy, and when he looked out and he just saw like two like shield, just like, he was just like his whole shit just was like, oh
yeah.
Okay.
But that was the whole thing of combat. It's like, by nature we are combative.
Yeah.
We're going to fight with something, someone, somewhere, somehow. There's going to be an argument somewhere. It's just something's going to happen. And then when we're combative, we want to drag others into our combative self. Just said about hurt people. Someone who is angry on the road wants you to be angry as well.
Yeah, he was looking for that when he looked out the window. You can feel it.
I've got things to do.
He'll find someone that's a match for him.
Yeah, but not me. I'm not interested. So most people on the road don't anger me because I have this theory. Most drivers are idiots.
I was waiting for you to say some really profound shit.
Some deep shit.
I have this theory. Most drivers are cunts.
Well, not CUNTs, but they're idiots. Idiots.
What did this guy say to me?
It's a 90%.
See you next Tuesday. That's what this guy said.
There's a 90% chance
talking
that
about this idiot we were working with.
Something's gonna happen. So,
man,
you let it happen. You're being proactive, right?
So you think, wow, you preempt the foolishness. You say to yourself, okay, most drivers are fucking idiots. So chances are some idiot is going to do something stupid today.
Something idiotic.
Something idiotic today. Yeah, I should have kept the idiot thing. Right? I was working well. And then when it happens, it's like,
told you so.
It's not like I didn't see this coming.
No, you can't have the bar low, you know.
That makes so much sense compared to someone doing something and then you flipping out. Like,
why are you flipping out, bro? You saw them. It was gonna come. You know, it was gonna happen. You just knew. Like Uber drivers, delivery drivers. It's gonna happen. Don't worry. You just be patient. It will come. And then it comes and you go, see, told you so. That's it. It's like when you see a Prius, you're like, oh crap, not again. It's gonna happen. It's just what it is, you know.
There's some foolishness is coming.
Yeah, stand there. Someone's gonna stop the car in the middle of the road, or just like where there's a no stop sign, they're gonna stop there. Okay, proactive, confidence, you know, all blends together. Be proactive, not reactive. When you assume everyone's gonna be
fits together, man. Proactivity, productivity.
Absolutely. That's why I am by nature combative, because humans are by nature combative and they like to see a disagreement. Whenever people are always agreeing, they're not interested. That's why we vote. We vote because it's always red versus blue. When you play football or matches, because there's this versus that. That's why we're so drawn to sports, because sports is basically combat and freedom.
Sports is combat.
It's combat. Even if it's table tennis, it's combat.
And just like we were saying before, every story's got some conflict in it.
There you go.
That's where the drama comes from.
There you go. That's why we're interested, because it's this versus that. It's one versus the other. It's men versus women. It's he versus she. It's whatever versus whatever. There has to be a Thanos in there. There has to be a bad guy in the story. Even if the bad guy is right. No. We need to make a bad guy for this to be an interesting story.
Yeah, otherwise you just got a bunch of people with amazing powers and it's very boring.
Running around and doing high fives. Super high fives.
Okay, so I've got a question for you.
Ooh.
I can recall a while back you making a status. Maybe it was on Facebook. What you said words to the effect, I'll paraphrase. Being disagreeable gets the job done. Does it ring a bell? Yeah, it was words to the effect of being nice, ain't it? Being disagreeable gets the job done. I'm finding the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing a lot of times people who are in a position of leadership, there is a certain degree of disagreeableness in them, in the sense of it's about getting it done. It's about the results over everything else. So there's a kind of a ruthlessness that's necessary.
There's a confidence in disagreeability.
There is, right? Because most people are looking, I would say, for approval and validation. And so, once you step into that disagreeable spot, you're now putting yourself in a position to be criticized, to be not liked, to cause conflict and the rest of it.
There's so much power,
but it's
necessary.
Yes.
There's so much power in saying no, and that's where confidence comes in. There's saying no to something or someone or some society or whatever it is. You make it disagreeable, and everyone goes, "Oh." Mm-hmm. When someone sees you say no, they worry that that's a leader. You cannot lead a people if you lack the ability to say no. You can't be a true leader if you can't say no. Because no means I know what's right. Despite what you may think and or feel, this is my path. That's what no means. No means I'd rather stand alone than be your umbrella. And everyone fears the no man.
Yeah, no one fears the yes man, that's for sure. And we've got some bars out here, man. These sound like films and books and albums and shit. No one fears the yes man.
No one fears the yes man. Everyone fears the no man.
Everyone fears the no man sounds hard as well.
Yep. Because we're doing this. No, we're not. You need to. No. You should. But if you don't do that, what happens? Nothing. Okay? I'm not doing it. What?
There's so much groupthink going on now, which I find equally fascinating and at times concerning, if I'm honest. Because the speed I've noticed that it's possible to manipulate public perception and have a sizable amount of the population thinking in a certain way.
You do know that safety numbers masses of access. Just because more people say safe doesn't mean it's right.
100%. That's what worries me.
Again, back to the animals, the bears and the eagles and the lions and the tigers being quite solitary. And most times, it's like, I don't need this group to make me believe what I believe.
I'm the same, I realise that the people I get on with most tend to be more like me, who aren't too social. Like we don't speak all the time.
It's good. It's quality.
It's quality, exactly that. Like when I see you, for example, we'll have a quality conversation, or several, and then you move on with your life and you carry on doing what you're doing. It's not like, every day I'm texting you, there's a picture of my pastor or whatever. Foolishness.
My pastor.
You know the ones that people are just talking for no reason, man. Just talking like.
There's my pimp. Oh, it's funny.
What did you say?
I like that. The pastor's a pimp, man.
Pastor's a pimp.
Yep.
Pastor been pimping.
Different story. Different story. Another day. Different story.
Your dad